Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is my first ever video, so I am bound to do some mistakes, and any suggestions in the comments to improve will be welcome. Also, please do let me know if you want me to work on any specific use case or projects. And if you like the video, please do like and share. Now, coming to the video. In this video, I'll be working on an end-to-end real-time PySpark project. The purpose of this project is to do data analysis and find out some key details about how the business can improve their model and what are the areas that are lacking and need addressing. Now, if we talk about the data dictionary here, you can see this is a railway data, and these are the different fields that it holds. For example, reason for delay, the timings of it, the purchase method, ticket type, ticket class, different things. For this project, we are going to be working on a few key parts. For example, you can see here the first thing that we are going to find out is the major reasons for train delays that can be controlled. So anything like natural disasters or weathers that we cannot control, we are not going to be worrying about. Then the major reasons for train cancellations, the top 5 railways that face most traffic in a day, so all the stations that face the most amount of departure from them, we are going to consider those and find out about those. The amount of, again, for the fourth part, we're going to look at the hour of the day that sees the most passengers traveling. And then at the end, what we're going to do is we're going to write all these four different scenarios in a separate CSV file. And what we're going to do is we're going to write it dynamically. So let's say if today's date is 28th, the file name. Okay, so now that we have the agenda discussed, let's move forward and start with the project. So the first things first, I need to import the file. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to upload the file to the dbfs. There it is. I'll just copy the file name. I'll go and open this notebook here and start working. So at this part, I'm just going to import the file in a data frame. This is going to be my file. Now what I need to do here is I need to create a data frame and store the file contents there. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So this file that I have is in a CSV format. I'm just going to read it as CSV, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and load a couple of contents from here to try and understand what's in the file, and do I need to make any changes, like what will be the headers and all. Okay, so here as we can see the headers are already there. So to handle that I need to add the headers part here. Headers will be true. Oh, sorry, not headers, it will be header. So that is fixed. Now I just need to check what the schema is going to be for this. Do I need to handle that as well, or is it taking everything correctly or not? So for that I'm just going to go ahead here and print the schema. Now as you can see, all these things here are strings, but if you look at the data set, there are few things that are in either date format or timestamp, even integers, so we need to fix that. So for that, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go here and do in for schema, and I'm going to write that as true. Now again, when I load that, I'm just going to recreate this data frame, and now when I check that, this should be good. Yeah, now you can see all the strings and data, everything is coming fine. Now that is done, we can move forward to the first part. Now as you can see, so the initial part that we need to fix, we need to check here is the major reasons for train delays. So if I see here, I have this field that I need to kind of use for my condition here, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to create a new data frame. I'm going to keep this name as data frame delays, and I'm just going to do a group by on the field that we just discussed about, and get the count for this based on the grouping. So I also need to show this. Now this is done, we'll have a much clearer idea if we need to go ahead and do some data cleansing. As you can see here, it is taking some null values, so we obviously need to filter that out. Also, if you see, there are a couple of fields that are kind of repeating. See the signal failure with capital F and a small f, we need to fix that in data cleansing. Also the staff shortage and staffing we're going to consider as same. Again, the weather conditions and weather is going to be same. So in order to fix this, I need to do some data cleansing here. I'm going to just do this in the same data frame only. For this, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and replace these fields. So for example, let's go ahead with this one. The staffing, whatever is mentioned as staffing, I want to change it to staff shortages only. Once that is done, I also want to go ahead and couple more here. You can also handle it at single part. I'm just doing it separately. So okay, I think I need to just remove this part. Now this will be my data cleansing part. Let me add title to it. I'm just going to go ahead and run this cell. That is done. Now once again, when I run this should give me a much better and clean data. Okay, now that is good. Now as we discussed here earlier, you can see that first we need to check the major reasons, and also we need to figure out things that we cannot control. So for example, the weather conditions we cannot control, and these are the conditions where there were no delays, so we need to kind of filter out this part as well. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a filter condition. I'm going to use where here, and inside this I need to filter based on this column. Column will again be this reason for delay only. And what I need to do here with this column is that it should not be equal to initially null that we are getting, and also we cannot be having this as weather conditions. So these two things we need to remove. With this part, okay. Oh, okay. One more thing that I need to do here is I have not imported the functions, so I'm just gonna go here and import PySpark.sql.functions. I'm going to import everything because I will need multiple functions here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and import everything. I'm going to run this. Now with that done, you can see here all the things that needed to be fixed are done, and these are the main issues that we were facing. So with this, the initial question is solved. Sorry, the major reasons for train delays that can be controlled. So this part is done. Now we again gonna go here and start working on the second part. So this is our part one done. Just let me add a title here as well. Now I'm going to start working on the second part. Now going to the second part, as you can see, I need to find out what are the major reasons for cancellations. So for this, we kind of again need to do the same things, but the only changes here will be that I need to filter out all the places where the journey status is going to be cancelled. If you can see here, the journey status, I need to check for this particular field wherever it is cancelled. So for this, what I'm going to do here is, let me again create a new data frame, cancelled. And anyways, I need to read from the original data frame only. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the column reason for delays, and I'm going to filter here, and I'm going to filter on the column journey status as we just discussed, and I am not going to be selecting any places where it is coming as cancelled. Now with this out of the way, one more thing that we need to do here is, we don't want it like completely separated, we only want it as a group based on these reasons. So we're just going to go ahead and do a group by on this, and we're going to go ahead again and group by on this field. Just going to copy ahead from here and paste. Also I need the count, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and run the count as well. I'm just going to go and show. I have this mistake, let me just quickly check that. Okay, sorry, I have added an extra S here, so this also will be an issue. Yep, this should be good now. Yeah, now you can see this again. I need to filter out this part. So again, I need to kind of filter all these null values, or I can do one thing here. Instead of using this one, I can just take it from this one, this DFT list, because anyways it has all the data for this. Okay, let me just or else I'll just filter here as well. No issues. I'm going to go ahead and filter here. I'll just take this part only because I don't need to do anything else. I already have this defined earlier. So I'm just going to go copy from there, and it is called issues. Let me check. I might. Oh, okay. So I have pasted it at wrong place. This be there. I just need to paste it in the filter instead of there, and this should be good. Yeah. Also the weather condition is there, so I need to change that as well, but this part we can keep, because now we're only this as we're not going to worry about things that we can control. This is just major reasons for train cancellations, so we need to keep that in mind as well. With that done, we're going to go ahead and move forward to the third part, that is top 5 railway stations that face most traffic in a day. So I'm gonna just add a title here, go to part 3, and I need to create another data frame here. I'm just going to give this a name as TF traffic, and again I need to do TF, and I'm going to first let me analyze what all fields are there quickly. Okay, so I am going to use this departure station as my base, so like to kind of figure out what station the most amount of people are going to be departing from. So I'm going to use that only here. So initially I need to do a group by on this particular field. So now I have everything grouped by this station. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do a count of it. Sorry, I have not done a show here. Let me do with that. This should be good now. Okay, now this is done. So I'm getting data for all of the things. Now what I need to do here is I need to first limit this to 5. Also, since you can see the data is getting truncated here, so I'm just going to go ahead and do truncate equals false. Yeah, but now as you can see, this is not proper. We just need the top 5, but this is going to give everything. So what I'm going to do is I just need to do this order by, and I'm going to do order by on the column count that we just created from here, and I want this as ascending should be false. I want this as descending, so I'm going to go and do that. Let me see what I've done here. Ascending. Okay, I've not given a bracket here, so now this should be fine. Also I need to remove that from here. Yep, this should be good now. Okay, so these are the 5 stations that face most traffic in a day. With that, our third part is also done. Now we're gonna go and check for the fourth part. Okay, so we need to check what hour of the day has most traffic. So for that, what we're going to do here is first let me create a new data frame with the name as hour traffic, or instead just hourly traffic. What I need to do here is now I need to kind of get the total data here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to sorry, uh, I'm going to first group by this whole data, and the column that I'm going to use here is yeah, departure time. So I'm going to use this as the base here, and I'm going to group by this. But now the issue that we're going to face here is if I go to the top where I've loaded the data, you'll see the departure time is not proper, or instead of show, let me just do yeah, yeah. Now you can see the departure timings here will be in kind of a timestamp. Now it's showing just this time of purchase, but the rest part also is timestamp only that you can see from here. Also I need to run this video. Okay, load the data frame. So in order to fix that, we'll need to only get the hour part of it. So for that I'm just going to extract the hour from here instead of the whole timestamp, because otherwise it will not take it properly. I'm going to just take the hour from here, and I'm going to give it an alias. I can give it like timing and hour. And I need the count of this. And I am just going to go ahead and show. Now once I run this, you can see based on the hours it's showing me the complete traffic here. But again, as we just discussed, I just want the hour that has the most traffic. So I'm again just gonna go ahead and do order by. I'm going to do order by the column count, and I'm going to keep it as ascending equals false, and I'm just going to fetch the first record. With that done, you can see, so this 18 hours, or you can see 6 p.m. is the time when we have most number of traffic. So with that, all the 4 parts are done. Now the only thing pending is writing this in a CSV file. Now moving forward with the 5th part, the first thing that I need to do is I need to import the date time here, because as discussed I want to pass it dynamically and not calling it from anywhere outside. So first what I'm going to do here is I'm going to import date time from date time, import date time, and this should be fine. Let me run this just once more. And now I need to create a variable to read this and store it later. So I'm just going to create a variable with the name date, and I'm going to pass this datetime function, datetime dot now. Also I need it in a string format, so I'm going to cast it as string, and now I'm going to just run it to kind of see in what format it's coming. Okay, so now I don't want it like this. I just want the date without the hyphens. I don't want the timestamp. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to first split this based on the space that we have here, and I'm just going to go forward and select the initial part. So only this part is going to come, as I'm just passing the 0 here, 0 index I'm passing. So now with that, let me again run this. Okay, now this is coming. Now I want to remove this. I don't want these hyphens, so I'm just going to go ahead and do replace command here. Going to replace the hyphens with an empty string. With that, this should be fixed here. So this is how I want my data to be, and with that done, I can move forward and start creating the next part. I'll just give this a heading, or importing date. Now this is the part where we're going to save. So I'm just going to again saving data sets in CSV. Now the first I need to discuss a few things here is I am going to use a coalesce function, because if we save it directly, it's going to save it in kind of part file, and I don't want that. I want everything to be in just one file, and we are going to do for all of these one by one. So I'm going to start with this DFD raise. Most of the code is going to be same, only the data frame is going to change. So I'm going to do this, write the data frame name, then do coalesce of that. I'm just going to keep a one part file, I don't want multiple, and I'm going to go ahead and write. Now I need to include multiple things here, so I'm just going to move to the next line, and I want the format to be CSV, and then I want uh, headers to be true, so I'm going to add that as well. I need to keep it like this. Header is going to be true, and I need encoding of UTF-8, so I'm going to add that as well. Coding will be UTF-8. Any empty spaces that are still there, I want to change that to null, and even the null values I want to keep as null only. So that also I'm going to define here. So empty spaces become null in Spark we define null as none. I'm just using that, and the null value that we have, I'm going to change that to none as well. Now let me keep these in one line. All option parts I'm going to keep like this. With that done, now I can go ahead and save this. Now while saving, I need to give the path here as well. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this initial path and make changes on that. Now I want to create a new folder, so I'm just going to go ahead and give this folder name as railways data, and let me quickly delete this part. Now I have already created this state part, so I want that as well. So what I'm going to do here is initially I need to give the name. So the name will be like I can just give a name as delays data plus delays data, and I need to add an underscore here, so I'll add an underscore, and then after that I'll add a formatted string to read that date. Go do that. Here I'll add date, and at the end I want to write the CSV. I want to give that CSV as well, so I'm just going to do a dot CSV. This should be good. I just want to recheck this, so this part is fine. Plus I was supposed to keep this separate as well, that I did not do. Now that is fine. Also I have added this mode here. I want to override this file even in case the file is already present. I want to override it. So now I just need to run this. Okay. Wait, let me just quickly go here and see. Okay, so I have created this as dot show only. That's why it's causing this issue. Instead of that, I should have done it like this. If I create it as a show object only, it will cause issues, and the same issues will face with other part as well. So I'm just going to go ahead, remove that, and then this should be working fine. Okay, so this is done. Now similarly I am going to create 4 different files for other parts as well. I just need to change the names here. Delay data is done. The cancel data, again I need to remove this dot show part, and I need to create it again. If I create it like that, it will not read it as a data frame. It will be a none type object, and I don't want that. So I just need to take this cancelled as well. Again I'll have to do the same for these two. I'll do it one by one. So this is cancelled. I just want to change it to cancel data. Then this will be this is going to be a traffic data. Just need to remove this part here. Okay, I just need to remove this show, right? I still want like that, so I'm going to do limit of 5, and then I'm going to do df traffic dot show. Getting this data. Okay, I have not given the truncate because I've already done that. I'm not going to type that again. I'm just going to move forward with this. Okay, I can just simply remove this. Need to recreate this part. Cancel data I think is already done. Just going to go ahead and do for the traffic part. And then for the hourly traffic. System is written. Now let me quickly run the others as well. All of these are done, so I'm just going to go and check if these files are created or not. dbfs, you can see the railways data is there. If I expand it, the hourly data, daily data, cancel data. One I have not run, it seems. Okay, I have not changed the name for this. I'm sorry. Let me just change it again. Just going to change it to max traffic data. And also I need to run this again because it might have overlapped. Now if I go back to the dbfs, file store, tables, and railways data, yep, all the 4 files are there. And if I just expand this, see, this is the file. So that was it about this project. Now in case you want me to work on anything new, you can discuss in the comments. You can let me know. If you liked this, please do like and share. That will be it for this video. Thank you.